Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley, Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I'm really honored to have a guest with me who's doing some great work with that Sustainable Cotton Project, Linda Gross, and you also wrote this book, which is Fashion is True and Near and Dear to My Heart. It's fashion and sustainability for design change. I don't know if we can get a close-up of that. And yeah, it's awesome. I think we have the book jacket coming too, so thank you for joining us. Before we go into about the project, we met at Maker Faire. I really don't know much about you. Tell us about yourself. You obviously have a beautiful accent.
Well, I'm English, right, originally from the north of England, Lancashire, and went to fashion college in London and then worked in London for a short while and then moved to New York to work in the fashion industry there and was recruited from New York to San Francisco by the clothing company Esprit. So I have a fashion background, very much trained as a conventional fashion designer. Nothing to do with sustainability was on my curriculum at all at school.
Is Esprit still going?
Not in the US.
Not in the
US.
US.
It is in Europe and also in Asia.
Okay. I remember they had like a really great warehouse.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I loved their stuff.
Yep.
I probably still have some Esprit that doesn't fit me. You
Yep.
may have designed it.
Great cafe.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like the warehouse district, San Francisco, somewhere.
Yeah, and the dog patch, which is now hopping. So
Yeah.
they were always ahead of the time.
Yeah.
You know.
So tell us now about the Sustainable Cotton Project. I didn't get to hear your talk this weekend, but it was very fascinating. I think by the time 2 o'clock rolled around, we were just done after being there for 3 days. So tell us about what you're doing with that.
Well, yeah, I was introduced to the Sustainable Cotton Project while I was working at Esprit, and the owner of the company at that time, Doug Tompkins, is a great outdoors person and saw wilderness areas being degraded by increased use and wanted us to, at the company, to look at ways that we could reduce the impact of the company on the environment. And because I was a designer at that time, doing a regular line, I started looking at the impacts of the product. And we did all kinds of things in the line that I designed, which was e-collection, but it included organic cotton. And so that was my introduction to California and California farmers. And we bought organic cotton for use in e-collection from a farm called Cal Organic. And so that introduced me to California farmers.
And I'm being a little tardy on the slides here, so let's pull up the first slide, which is your jacket of the book. Oh, actually, he didn't bring that up, but we've got here 40% of children in poverty, living in poverty, I guess it says on the slide. Average income $18,000. Tell us about the slide here that's up here.
Yeah, well, the Sustainable Cotton Project works with these California farmers. So it's down in the heart of the San Joaquin Valley in Fresno County. And what I like to point out is that, you know, here where we are now is Shangri-La, California. And where we work down in the San Joaquin Valley is forgotten or struggling California. So 40% of children live in poverty. The average income per capita per annum is $18,000 a year, if you can imagine that. And it's 25% unemployment. So it's an area that really depends on agriculture, and it's an area just to pay attention to and to share some of our fortunes with.
Let's see, let me pull up another slide right now too. Again, I'm a little bit behind on that, so let's pull the next slide up. And yeah, so no GMO seeds and cotton, cleaner cotton, trademark, and I don't know what it says at the bottom there because I think I need some new reading glasses. That's beautiful, and we can pull that down. I remember when I was a kid driving to LA, there would be these beautiful fields of cotton, and then it was replaced by almonds, and now the almond fields are going away, the almond orchards are going away. How long has this organization been around?
Yeah, Sustainable Cotton Project's been in existence since 1996.
Okay.
And that's when I joined them, just shortly after leaving Esprit. And they've been working with farmers who are in the Central Valley, conventional farmers, to help them move out of a chemical-intensive system and into biological cultivation in cotton.
And are the farmers shrinking? Are there less farmers than there were before then?
I would say, generally speaking, there are fewer farms and there's more acreage. So farms are getting larger, and there are fewer numbers of them. It's really difficult for family farmers to compete with economies of scale, and we work with family farmers.
So the Sustainable Cotton Project, is there membership? How many members do they have, or is it a handful of people, a board that runs it? How does that work?
It's not a membership.
Okay.
It's actually it's a non-profit organization, and it requests farmers to register in the program. So we've got 38 farmers currently, but it can be anywhere between 35 and 50 farmers a season.
And mainly California?
Only California.
Only California.
Yeah, in Merced and Fresno County and Modesto County. So
Okay.
working in those 3 counties. But we also send newsletters out to another 1,600 farmers across the state. And they're not members, but they register with the program. They come to field days, they receive information, they read the blog, and they engage with scientists from UC California and with our farm program, and including a field expert who gives them weekly monitoring reports.
So how many employees or volunteers does the organization have?
It's actually really small. There are 4 full-time employees, and then I'm actually a consultant. We've got a volunteer board, and then, as I said,
How many board members? Like 10?
Around about 7 to 10, it
Okay.
depends. And then we link to UC scientists. You know, we have freelance graphic designer and web designer and so on and so forth. So we're very nimble. We get a lot done with very few resources.
So tell us why organic and why no pesticides is so important with the cotton.
Well, cotton is globally, it's a large user of chemicals. In the US and in California, because farmers have access to the best available technology, it's actually less than other parts of the world. But in general, it's gained quite a reputation. And there's certainly work that can be done, even though the US is perhaps leading in the use of chemicals. So Temic, for example, is an acutely toxic chemical that's widely available for agriculture and used in cotton. And what organic would do is ensure that those very toxic chemicals are not used, and there's certification for organic. I should clarify, though, that cleaner cotton is not organic, it's cleaner.
Okay.
And we've got certain requirements that the farmers have to meet in order to be part of the program. And I can describe that a little bit more fully to you.
Sure. Let's pull up one more slide here. And so this is the cleaner cotton slide right here, actually. And we can pull that down. And then so our next question actually goes into exactly that, and sustainable farming, and the 3 projects you have, which are cleaner cotton and field program. Let's see, it's the cleaner cotton field program, cleaner cotton marketing program, and San Joaquin sustainability. So yeah, tell us about the cleaner cotton and why that then.
Yeah, so I'm involved in, well, I should say that the Sustainable Cotton Project has a broad scope, and it includes cotton and almonds and alfalfa, but I'm only involved in the cotton side because that's my background. I'm a textile and fashion designer. So, and I'm involved in both the field program and the marketing, and what I mean by that is it's my job as a designer to understand what we do in the field with the farmers, and then to communicate that to the industry and connect the farmers and the fiber to industry and brands who might use the fiber in their clothing. So cleaner cotton requires the farmers to register in the program. They agree to report in on their chemical use. They also agree to work with a field advisor who comes in on a weekly basis to monitor beneficial insect populations in the field. And they also agree to use biological integrated pest management systems before using any harsh chemicals.
Wow.
We completely disallow the 13 most toxic chemicals used on cotton, and we require the use of non-genetically modified seed. So there's quite a few requirements for the farmers to meet, but it's not quite as demanding as an organic system. So the way I like to explain it is asking a conventional farmer to do organic is like asking a conventional doctor to suddenly switch to Chinese medicine and acupuncture and herbs. It's just a radically different system, and it takes them time to get their feet wet and trust the systems, and then fully trust them and use them on other crops.
So chemicals in farming for a long time have been, leached into the ground, and when you think about what you're wearing, obviously there's that benefit of not having certain chemicals be part of what you're going to wear later. So why sustainable farming, and why, I guess what I'm asking is the chemicals that they have been using, they have been changing that, right, over the years, and to be less toxic. So what you're looking at now is actually making it less and less toxic then?